Morning, guys. Last quarter arcade. It's going to talk today about how to do some things to your arcade machine, your pinballs. But I also want to address Arcade1up. For those of you that are gamers or whatever you want to call us, you know about the company Arcade1up. And a lot of people talk about what they think about it, whether they're cheap, whether they're worth it, whether they're not. So we're going to talk about that. So if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, comment. And here we go. The jaws. So I got these for it the other day. Translucent blue rubbers. So I'll replace the black ones with these blue ones. I think it'll go pretty good. We'll see how that works out. I'm going to take you downstairs and talk about the Arcade1up. For the Resident Evil fans. So I whipped out a couple of my Arcade1ups that I had in storage because I didn't really have the room. I only have a few of them. I'm going to talk to you about why I like them and who I think they're for. So here's one, Killer Instinct. Has Battletoads on it. Now it's about my height. I'm about 5'6", so it's around there. It's not as big as a regular arcade machine. So my height's about here. But here's the thing with these. For a Pac-Man, or for a Galaga, or for a simple game like that, if you want to pay $1,000+ for one game, for a real arcade, you can go ahead and do that. But here's the thing. With the real arcades, and this isn't even a real arcade. This has an LCD monitor in it, and it was, I think it's an original cabinet, but they redid it. And it has a Pi in it, and it plays Galaga 1, 2, and 3. So it's not an original Galaga machine. If you were going to get one of those, in this condition, new condition, you're going to pay over $1,000. And real arcades are about 350 pounds. They're big. You see how big this thing is. So the footprint it takes. And it has a CRT monitor, which is the old TV monitors that are heavy. They use a lot of electricity. And they break. And the arcades themselves break. So you're going to have to fix these at some point. So if you don't know how to do that, you're going to have to pay someone to do it, which is expensive, or you're going to have to do it. And how many people have a space where they can have, 20 full-size ones? Not too many people have that space or have that money for one game. So for a Pac-Man or a Galaga or something simple, Commando, like this one. The Street Fighter Arcade1up. It has all these games on it. So for Commando, 1944, Ghouls and Ghosts, those are simple games. These are perfect for that, I think. For the $300, $400 price range they were going for. Now, once you start getting over that, now I think it's getting too expensive. And even for Tron. I think Tron's a beautiful game. It's a super simple, it's not simple to play, but it's the early days. Would have come out in 1980. So it's not a complex, type of game. This is Arcade1up. I have the riser for it. It's over there. I don't want to pay $3,000, $4,000 for Tron. In my opinion, it's not worth it. So for games like that, I think Arcade1up is good. $300, $400. This Wizard of War is annoying as hell. Now you're going to say, well, why do you have fighting games that are more complex for Arcade1up? Well, here's the reason. I don't want to pay $2,000, $3,000 for a full-size Mortal Kombat 2 machine. Why? Because I don't like fighting games. I like Mortal Kombat. I think it's a great game. I would never play it. I don't like it. I'm not into it. I think it's just a button masher. But these are for friends that come over, they want to play Mortal Kombat, they want to beat each other up. That's great. And they don't have a problem with it. And most normal people that are not in this hobby aren't going to have a problem with this compared to this. They're not going to know the difference. They're not going to care it's an LCD. They're not going to care that it's maybe a little bit shorter. You know, if you're a purist, you might care. But at the same time, you better have the money to spend, and you better have the knowledge to fix these things. And you better have the room as well. Because it's just what it is. So, for a fighting game, I would recommend getting a full size. Because the controls are better, the buttons are better, you know. But if you're just a normal person, you're not going to care about that. You just want to play it. And you're going to play it, and you're going to go about your day. You're not trying to do, you know, world records over here and compete in a tournament or something. As far as pinball, there's a lot of good virtual pinballs. And even on PlayStation, they have good pinball video games that are fun. You'll get your pinball fix. You'll get it. If you can afford a pinball, and, you know, for a pinball that's in good condition, that's any decent title, you're paying $1,000 or more. Period. And again, real pinballs, they're huge. Look at the length of this thing. They're huge. They're about 400 pounds. They constantly need maintenance. Constantly. And they cost a lot of money. And once again, you only get one game. So you have to weigh the pros and cons of, do you have the room? Do you want to fix it? And do you want to pay for it? So that's that rant over here. But I'll tell you, the two Arcade1ups that I have, well, one of the two that get played the most, this game, people love Wheel of Fortune. They love it. They play the hell out of this thing when they come over. And I love it. And I'll show you the other one I have, which I don't have room for, which is probably the simplest game you could really ever play. My workout area I need to be using. This is the under the deck area where I store the rest of my crap. You have this 2-minute football. I just don't have room for it. It's very fun. And that one's a basketball one, which is very fun. People played that all day. It's double hoops and you shoot against each other, but I just don't have the room for it right now. So you have to pick and choose. This thing, Arcade1up, it's Pong. It's 4-player, right? So I'm here, you're here, and we play each other. My friends come over and their kids come over. This is what they play. Thousands of dollars in pinball machines and arcade machines and consoles and games. This is what they play. They play Pong. Because it's simple. You can just walk up to it and play it. You don't have to have instructions. You don't have to learn the game. You just Pong. Young kids play it. Old kids play it. Old people play it. Everybody plays it. They love this thing. So, there's the basketball one. And these are two sit-down racers that I have. You hook them up to Xbox. But once again, room. I have the steering wheel, the shifter, got the pedals down there, and you can link them up. That's pretty fun. But yeah, the game doesn't have to be complex to be fun. If it's fun, it's fun. It doesn't matter what it is. And that's what people go to. So that's that situation. It's another one, iArcade. It works, I just have to plug it in. It's a multi-cade, it has a bunch of different games on it. And it's fun. Has Double Dragon on it. It's great. Form factor's kind of strange, but it is what it is. And like this. Centipede. Has an LCD monitor in it. I don't mind LCD. I think LCD looks perfect to me. LCD, CRT. CRT, TV, LCD. This breaks, you have to fix it. This breaks, you throw that monitor out, you just buy another one at Walmart. 20 bucks. You know, but it's Centipede. You know, it does what it does. Totally fine. So it just depends on what you want to spend, what you're willing to do, and what kind of space you have. So, you know, look at how big this thing is. NFL Blitz. You can get the Arcade1up one for $2 less than this. But it's going to be not even half the size of this. It's going to be, you know, like that big with a little bit bigger control panel. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, like I mentioned, the game is a little bit different. You can't hit players after the play, but it's still fun. It's still a fun game. You still get the gameplay of it. And that's really all that matters. That's all that matters. And I want to show you pinballs. If you're not ready to work on one of these, well, you need to be ready, because this is how you pick up a pinball machine. There's a lever usually under here, so you have to undo the lever and you take this piece off, which is this piece. This piece would come off. You would slide the glass out, and then you pick up the playfield. That's what's underneath the pinball machine. All these coils, all these wires, all these boards, lights. So if you're not ready to fix something like this, when it eventually something will break on it. You have a steel ball hitting plastic. It's going to break. And a lot of mechanisms and stuff like that. So if you're not willing to fix it, or learn to fix it, or pay someone to fix it, then you should probably get a virtual one, where you're not going to have to worry about that. And it plays not just as good, but it's good enough. It's good enough. So that's my morning rant. Golden key. And I'm going to make another video later, putting the, show you how to put the rubbers on a playfield of a pinball machine. Have a good day.